Tucson 30 cleared as flight level 250, 5 minutes after departure. Contact Oklahoma Center 382.6, squawk 4723. Ask for 3.
That story would have never come to happen if I hadn't spoken at Space Camp in Seattle one year, many years ago. Bunch of 12, 13-year-olds in little blue shorts and Space Camp t-shirts in July, and I'm their speaker. And I'm telling them, oh, the SR was scary, and it was dangerous, and it was important, and it was serious. And a 12-year-old boy gets up, asks a question. And he asked the question I would have asked if I was in his position. Wasn't it ever fun? And I thought, I've been 12 twice in my life, and that is a good question. Yeah, if it's not fun, why are we doing it? Well, I thought of this story, and I thought it would just be told that day and never. Oh no, 34 million people now have seen that damn website and written me about it in their emails daily. So I will tell you, for those of you that don't know the LA Speed story, it is the day it was fun flying the jet. And frankly, between you and me, it was fun every day. Because when you're 12, 13, 14, 15, you are in the hottest hot rod you will ever fly. Well, one day, Walter and I were nearly done with our training, and we were gaining hours in the airplane. So we took off out of Beale and hit a tanker in Idaho, ripped on up to Montana, zipped across Denver, took a right turn to Santa Fe, out over L.A., up to Seattle, back into Sacramento, 2 hours, 25 minutes. And we would do it backwards, hit the tanker, and we're just building time and experience. They're going to let us go fly real missions in another 2 weeks. And we had already made the turn in New Mexico. We're over Tucson, Arizona, right here. We're blowing cactus down 18 miles high. I can see L.A. from downtown Tucson. There's not a gauge moving in my cockpit. It's just still smooth as glass. It is like silk. We're at 87,000 feet, Mach 3.2, ripping across the Southwest. And I'm looking in the mirror going, yeah, you are doing it. It is you. You're not in a big dream like they used to give you drugs in the hospital. You'd have these dreams. Oh, no, it's you. We bad. And I feel sorry for Walter because he has 5 radios he has to monitor in the back seat. I used to fly single seat all my life now. I'm in the family model. There's a little division of duties. So I picked the toggle switch up, and sure enough, LA Center is controlling all the bug smashers and mortal planes below us. It's just, I got to just stop right here and say this is so great having an aviation audience. I don't have to explain everything. What's center? Yeah, okay. Back then, we didn't have GPS. So as you know, and some of you may be guilty of this, you had to know your ground speed. You were probably one of those little Cessna guys. Oh, what's my ground speed? I don't know where I am. Hey, I flew T-28s for 2 years. I started at 200 knots, graduated to 2,000 knots. So I understand VFR, flying low. So LA Center is controlling all the traffic, and we're hearing all this stuff. And sure enough, there's some Cessna guy. Oh, this is Cessna November Alpha Tango. Have you got a ground speed radar for us? Center would like to say, hey, pal, get off freak, who cares? But he doesn't, because and I know, Center talks to you like you're John Glenn. Center is the greatest group of guys ever. They make you feel important when they talk to you. Cessna November Alpha, we show you 90 knots, 90 knots on the ground. You feel like somebody. Right after that, a twin Bonanza or twin Beach, whatever it was, comes back up on freak. To pimp the guy. Hey, you got a ground speed radar for us, Center? Center's like, yeah, it's Friday afternoon. Why me, God? Just go away. But no, he's going to talk to him like he's Air Force One. Yeah, twin Bonanza, we show you 220 knots on the ground. Ooh, okay. And right after that, wasn't my fault. A Navy F-18 out of Lemoore pops up on frequency. And you knew he was a Navy guy because he talked real slick on the radio. Center Dusty 5-2 speed check. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Dusty 5-2 has ground speed indicator in that $1 million F-18 cockpit. In fact, in the heads-up display, it's right there in front of his fat Navy face. So why are we calling center to broadcast our speed? Oh, I get it. We are just the meanest, baddest, fastest military jet in the valley today. We're taking our little Hornet jet over Mount Whitney and ripping across Death Valley. And we want everyone from Fresno to the coast to know what real speed is. And you can almost hear a little glee in the controller's voice, like, yeah, we put an end to this. Dusty 5-2, we show you 620, 6-2, 0 knots across the ground. And it was that across the ground, it was a little flourishing, a little different to put the stamp of, okay, we've ended this. And that's a pretty legitimate 620 across Death Valley. Okay, I give you that. There was a hush on the radio. There wasn't an airliner from Seattle to San Diego wanted to be next. And freak, you know the etiquette. You don't want to be the guy to follow that. Unless you're an Army helicopter pilot or something. You don't know any better. And there was just a silence on frequency, and there we are. The moment, it's like time stood still for just a second. And a 12-year-old was reaching for the mic button. And I thought, no, I'm not in charge of the radios. Walter is the radio guy. If I do this, I'll upset. We're a crew. I don't want, no, it's the Navy. They must die. They must die now. I thought, no, but if I do it, we got 4 years to, I don't want Walter to be upset. So while I'm going through this angst somewhere high over the southwest, I hear a click of the mic button in the back seat. Ladies and gentlemen, Walter and I became a crew at that moment. His very best innocent Danny Glover voice. LA Center, you got a ground speed readout for us? Aspen 30. And you know, Center had to give you that same voice. They didn't go, oh, gee whiz, wowee, hey, we never hear from you. No, they stuck right to their, which really made it all work. And you could almost hear a collective gasp from all the other people on Freak, like the poor fools, they didn't hear the previous, what idiots, they're going to be crushed like a grape. And Center had to monitor 3 scopes as we went through them, so it took a little bit longer. Aspen 30, we show you 1,892 knots across the ground. And there was a hush on frequency, and when I knew I was going to like Walter a lot for the next 4 years. So when he came back, said, Center, we're showing a little closer to 2,000. And the greatest radio call I have ever heard in my career is when Center came back, and I swear to God, they said, well, your equipment's better than ours. So for just a moment, it was really fun. The Navy had been flamed, the king of speed lived, and a crew had been formed. So what do combat-hardened, commie-fighting fighter pilots do when they retire? I shoot pansies now, and I'm